Speaking of legends, we are thrilled to be joined by Bill Castle, the head football coach at Lakeland High School, and coaching for 52 plus years. Recently won 8th state title at Lakeland. And Coach, welcome to Sports Central.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, after the 8th state title, announced your retirement, and certainly a lot of recognition has come your way over the years. And I know it's hard to grab 2 or 3 things, but what were the 2 or 3 things that were so special about this season in your mind?
Number one, obviously the players. I mean, they had so much fun at practice this year. Our practices were so intense, especially if we went ones-on-ones. Whether it was 11-on-11, 7-on-7 pass, or goal line pass. I mean, they had great energy and such a fun team to coach this year.
A record number of Division I athletes coming out of the senior class for you, if I'm correct. Is that there was a lot of them, anyways? We've
got a lot, and then over the years, I mean, 2, 4, 5, and 6. I mean, we had a ton of Division I athletes. But so far we've had 18 players to sign, and we're proud of every one of them, and our whole team. It takes a whole team. Football is team sport, and where your success depends on the other guys doing their job. So, we've been fortunate that we had a lot of great players this year.
What do you think, looking back now at the 50-plus years, what do you think sustained you through that? Because anything you do in life, there's highs and there's lows, and what do you think kept you moving forward each and every year?
It's easy for me because it's always been the next day. Regardless of what happened, just move on to the next day and try to see what you can accomplish that particular day. So there's not any one thing. It's just, go one day at a time. Next thing you know, hey, it's 52 years later. So it goes by in a hurry.
Yes, sir. So if you were giving advice to a young coach, you'd tell them to have kind of a kicker mentality. Forget about the last one, just move on to the next one.
Yeah, that's exactly what you've got to do, and it's, I've always preached we and not me. Head coaches get a lot of credit, for their success, but it takes a lot of people to have a successful football program, and I've just been real fortunate to be surrounded myself with great coaches, and I've been fortunate to have great administrators that have always supported, and that's really crucial right there, is to get the backing to help you get the things you need for your program, and the boosters have been so important to our program.
Talk about your coaching staff, continuity there, obviously helping to sustain the program. Why do you think Polk County is so good at football? Do you think it's the coaching? And obviously you got to have players too. But
I think, I think it's obviously the athletes for sure. Polk County's just been rich in really good football players throughout the years, and and there's a lot of very good coaches in Polk County.
Talk about Coach Quinn. If I'm correct, you actually came here to learn from Coach Quinn, and then he ended up leaving for Bartow, I believe, and that created the opportunity. Is that?
Yeah, I love Coach Quinn. He was a great guy, a great mentor to me. I started out with him. He gave me my first job. I coached in Lake City, Florida for 1 year, and then Lakeland. Back in those days, they recruited him to come to Lakeland to coach, and he was a real successful coach in Lake City, and then I coached 5 years with him here as his defensive back coach. And some of my great memories are my days with Coach Quinn, being an assistant coach under him. So he was such a charismatic person, fun to be around, and just a great guy.
What are you going to miss most now that you're settling into retirement, not going to be roaming the sidelines anymore? What are you going to miss the most?
I've always I love practice. Just going out, especially spring football. Has always kind of been my favorite because you're starting over and getting your team ready for the next season, and it's always fun. And there's not a lot of pressure in the spring or anything like that that demands. Obviously, I think one of the things I won't miss is maybe the stress that you put on yourself to maintain the success that you've had over a period of time. And,
sure.
It's not easy to do, but, there's a lot of things I'll miss about it. I'll miss the players and the coaches, You know, we've had a lot of great coaching staffs that we've had so much fun, and you know, I'll miss all that. But it's my next chapter now.
Yeah. When did you decide that this season was going to be your last?
You know, I waited, as I have done for probably the last 5 years, till after Christmas, and make sure that, you know, I make the right decision, and you know, and I think I did. It's just time. And my wife, we've been married 42 years. She's been so supportive, and made a lot of sacrifices for me to do what I love doing, and it's time I paid her back. So, you know, it's just time.
What's that one piece of advice you'd give to a young student athlete about, you know, specializing, not specializing, how to train, how not to train? What's that piece of advice you'd give them? Because you've seen the game change over 50 years.
It has, and all the sports are getting year-round right now. But I've always preached. When I was coming along in high school, you know, I played every sport that they had there, and you know, of course, back then they only had football, basketball, and track. You know, so those are the three. You know, but I've always encouraged kids to play other sports and just do what makes them happy and have fun at it.
Hundreds and hundreds of wins, 8 state championships. I don't even know how many district titles. What's the one thing you're the proudest of from your time on the sidelines? Oh
gosh, we've had a lot of accomplishments. You know, I think probably the best thing is I never had a losing season. Would be the one thing. I think the worst season I've had is 5-5. So I'm kind of proud that you know, we did have at one time we had a 60-game win streak. And then another time we had 53 straight games that we won. So those are some of the things that I'll probably be proud of.
Now we can break some news right here on Sports Central if you want to, but this is it, right? There's no Tom Brady to this?
No, at my age, no.
All right, Coach, well, congratulations. Yeah. All the accolades that you've received, and you certainly have made Polk County football better and a bunch of young men better for you roaming the sidelines for 50-plus years at Lakeland. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, everyone. If you enjoyed this interview and want to watch more Sports Central, click the video below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.